While the Iran war is in its third week, Israeli ambassador to India spoke at WION's annual summit, WION World Pulse in New Delhi. Envoy Reuven Azar defended Tel Aviv's ongoing operations against Iran. He said the goal is to dismantle Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile programs. The Israeli envoy also asserted that Israel has the capability to continue its operations. The envoy reflected on when the war will end if US will invade Iran. US allies support India's actions amid energy supply disruptions and more. Listen in.
My first question, something that we all want to ask you is, when will this war come to an end?
Well, it's a good question. I think that we have said at the outset that this might take a few weeks. We are pretty advanced when it comes to fulfilling our military targets. We started with hitting pretty hard the leadership and also the missile and industrial capability of the Iranian regime. We went on to hit the Basij, as you saw yesterday, and we attacked again the leadership of the regime. What we want to achieve is to remove two existential threats that were looming on our country and our region. That's the military nuclear program and the ballistic missile program. That the Iranians were planning to dig very deep into a mountain and make it immune to either our or American attack. So because of the fact that this regime has been threatening us for so many decades and has sworn to destroy the state of Israel, we found ourselves in this situation that we had no choice but to take action. I believe we have the oxygen to continue with this for more weeks. We have stated that very clearly in terms of our capability to continue working on the targets, our capability to defend ourselves. The European response, I think, was a pretty mixed baggage. On the one hand, they are pretty happy that we are removing this threat. On the other hand, they are sort of sensitive to the repercussions. They have some political complications, especially in some of the countries, that are making them not to be very decisive when it goes to supporting their American allies. I think this is going to have repercussions because President Trump is not very satisfied with this kind of weak response coming out from Europe. This war will end when we exhaust our military capabilities. We will at least leave this regime debilitated significantly. We might get more of that, but we don't want to, exaggerate with expectations. We have stated that beyond these two existential threats we want to remove, it is very important to open the way for the Iranian people to embrace their future. I don't know if it will result in a change in the regime or regime change. We do not intend to actively, operationally topple the regime because we are not going to invade Iran. I don't think the United States is going to invade Iran either.
How do you see India's role? We saw the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he was in Israel, but India has good relationship with Iran as well. 3 Indian vessels have been able to come to Indian shores via the Strait of Hormuz. Do you see an Indian role, and how do you see India having conversation with Iran to get these important vessels to India?
Well, I'm sure that the Indian government is doing what is good for India. I was happy to see that these Iranian ships were neutralized and no longer can pose a threat either on us, the Americans, or other forces. At the end of the day, I think people have to look at the long term.